All right, Chapter 9, Lesson 1 is Area of Parallelograms. Here we want to write the definition of the following vocabulary and draw a picture for an example. All right, a polygon is a closed figure formed by 3 or more straight lines. So here is an example of a polygon. Okay, you could also have a triangle. Could I have a circle? No, because it's 3 or more straight lines. Could I have a right angle?
No.
No, because a right angle is made of 2 lines, right? So a polygon is a closed figure formed by 3 or more straight lines. Okay? All right, a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral. What's a quadrilateral? Has how many sides?
4.
4, very good. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel and opposite sides the same length. Okay? What does parallel mean? They're
2 lines that never meet.
2 lines that never meet together. Very good. So, here is an example of a parallelogram. And you can see here that the opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are the same length. And a rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. Okay? And here is an example of a rhombus. You know, when you were in elementary school, you'd call that a diamond, right?
No.
Now remember, a parallelogram has 4 equal sides. What other shape, what other parallelogram has 4 equal sides?
A square.
A square, not a rectangle. A square has 4 equal sides. Okay? And so I like to say that a rhombus is like a square that has been shoved over. Okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is the area of a rectangle. Now this was not part of the textbook. This is just a review of what you should already know. So when we're looking at the area, what are we looking for? The stuff inside, right? We're looking for the stuff inside, right? Well, inside. Okay, so here, when we're looking at the area, we want to see how many boxes we can fit inside this rectangle, right? So you just want to find out how many boxes, how many squares we have in this shape, right? So, how do I find that out easily? Elijah? Very good. So we're just going to multiply. We're going to multiply how many we have up here times how many we have down here. So let's count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, look at that. Thank goodness it's easy. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So to find out the area of this rectangle, we've got 8 times 10, or 10 times 8. Length times width, right? Length times width. So, or height, okay? So this is going to be 80. And since there are no units on there, we're just going to say units squared. Area is always square units, okay? Now, let's move some stuff around here a little bit because we want to see how the area of a rectangle is related to the area of a parallelogram. Okay, so let's say I put a triangle over here, and I'm going to cut this piece off, right? I'm going to cut this piece off right here, and I'm going to move it to the other side. Okay, so all of those squares in that triangle are still going to be part of the shape. Is everybody with me? So let's move this. Oops, wait. I forgot to pick up one of those things. Hold on. Okay, so let's move this to the other side. Okay, so now what's the shape? It's a rhombus, right? And a rhombus, of course, is a parallelogram. So, did the area of that shape change? No, it's still 80 units squared, right? It's just in a different place. Okay? So, whether we have the area of a rectangle or the area of a parallelogram, they're both the same. Does that make sense? So we just figured out what we know about the area of a rectangle and the area of a parallelogram. The formula is the same, right? So write this down. The area of a parallelogram is related to the area of a rectangle because they're the same. So here are the formulas. Area of a parallelogram. So here in words it says the area A of a parallelogram is the product of its base and its height. Okay? So here in the picture, this is a parallelogram, and we have the base. Now look, you see they put the base at the top there? Does everybody understand that that base is also the same as down here?
Yeah.
Okay? Because opposite sides are equal, right? So that's also the base down there, okay? We could also have a height out here, right? That drops to a right angle. So the formula is area is equal to base times height. Oh, and I already said this. The base of a parallelogram can be any of its sides because opposite sides are equal. The height is the perpendicular distance from the base to the opposite side. Okay, and when we say perpendicular, it's always going to form a right angle at the bottom. Okay? All right, for example, it says find the area. You don't have to write this one down. It says find the area of the parallelogram. So here, to find the area of the parallelogram, the first thing you're going to do is always write your formula. You're going to write your formula, you're going to write your substitutions, and then you're going to simplify to find your answer. Okay? Now, here, to find the area, it's base times height. So when I look at the base, there's the base. And all you have to do is count how many boxes are in there. So that's 1. Let me change colors. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is everybody clear with that? And then to find the height, you just count the boxes here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 6 times 8. So the area is 48 units squared. Okay? All right. So here is a parallelogram. Okay? There's no squares, no boxes, but we have units. Okay? So the formula again is area is equal to base times height. Now, there's so many numbers in here. What's the base? The base is 20. 20 centimeters is the base. Now, between the 11 and the 13, which one is the height? It's the 11. How do I know this is the height and not the 13? Because, very good. Because at the bottom, it's a right angle. Is everybody clear? So, here, we've got 20 times 11, which is 220, and it's not units anymore, it's centimeters squared. Right, so here's the first example. Let's do example A. You're going to write these down. Oh, thank you. So here, the first thing we're going to do is write our formula. What's our formula for area?
Area equals
Base times height. Okay, so the first thing is write your formula. The second thing is, no, substitute in for the variables, right? So area is equal to the base. So now we count the boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be 6. And the height is 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 times 3, which is what? 18. What's my label going to be? Units. Very good. Units what? Squared. Is everybody clear? Piece of cake? Example B. Again, the first thing you're going to do is write your formula. I want you to write your formula for every single problem you do. That way, by the time it comes to the test, you'll know it. Is everybody clear?
Oh, great.
Okay, so area, now we substitute. The base, which one is the base?
The bottom one.
4, very good. 4 meters. And then, and you can just wait until the end to put your units on here. And then what's the height? 16, very good. And then we just multiply. Very good. 64 meters squared. So now we want to find missing dimensions. Now this part, you're going to do a little more work, okay? Now, please make sure you write down this definition of a formula. A formula is an equation that shows a relationship among certain quantities. To find the missing dimensions, we're going to use a formula for the area of a parallelogram. We're going to replace variables with the known measures, and then we're going to solve for the unknown. Okay? So, it sounds like something new, right? But you've done this before when we were solving equations. Okay? So, for this example 3, it says find the missing dimension of the parallelogram. So, they gave us the area, they gave us the base. What are we looking for? We want the height, right? That's what's missing. So we substitute. First we write our formula. Always write your formula first. Area is equal base times height. Then you're going to substitute what you know. So we know the area. That's 45 inches squared. We know the base. That's 9. And the height is what we're solving for. So the equation that we have is 45 is equal to 9 times h, or 45 equals 9h. Then, because this is a multiplication equation, how do we solve it? You divide. So here we're dividing by 9 on both sides, so that h is equal to 5 inches. So here we're going to do this one together. So what's the first thing we're supposed to do? Write our formula. So area is equal to base times height. And now, what's the next step? Substitute. Very good. So A is area. So what's the area? 48 meters squared. And then we can just put our units at the end. And then the base, the height is 6. So the base is what we don't know, right? So that's going to be B times 6. Very good. So now, because this is a multiplication equation, we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. Then those 6's, of course, will cancel. Now we're left with B. And we end up 48 divided by 6 is 8. 8 what? Meters squared. You are right. So, you're right. This should only be meters because it's just the height. It's not the area anymore, right? So, this is just 8 meters. You get a shark bite. All right, for letter D. Once again, first thing we're going to do is we're going to write our formula. Area is equal to base times height. Now, we put the information in that we know. We substitute in what we know. So, area is equal to 96, right? The area is 96. And, let's see, Base and height. What do I know?
The base.
Do I know the base?
Yeah.
That's not the base.
Oh, the foot.
How do I know that's not the base?
It's the height.
How do I know it's the height?
Angle.
Because it drops to a right angle, right? So this is the height. So we are going to put in the base, that's what we're solving for, times the height, which is 8. Now, to solve for the base, we're going to divide by 8. On both sides, the 8's cancel, and what am I left with? B by itself is equal to 12 yards. Romila is painting a replica of the national flag of Trinidad and Tobago for a research project. We want to find the area of this black stripe. What shape is that? That's not a rhombus, because a rhombus has 4 equal sides. So this is a parallelogram. So again, we're going to use area is equal to base times height. Does everybody see that? Now, when we substitute in, what's this? Base. That is the base. So that's what goes in here for B. So that's 6 3/4 times the height. Now here, you guys see this yellow? This is my line that I'm going to drop down. So here we have a height that's right there, right? Which is equal to what? 12. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's equal to 12. So we know the height is equal to 12. And now we have area is equal to base times height, and we can simplify. Now, when you are multiplying fractions, if you have a mixed number, the first thing you have to do is change that to an improper fraction, right? So 6 3/4 is equal to 27/4. And then that is what we're going to simplify. So we have 27/4. Now what do I like to do before I multiply, which they did not do? I like to simplify before I multiply, right? So, we can put this over 1 if you want. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3, and now it's just going to be 27 times 3, which is 81, over 1, which gives us 81. And our units, again, are square inches. And you can write inches squared.